Yo guys, what's going on? BurkCrown88 coming in with a YouTube video, and today we are going to be taking the information that HUT has been giving us over each position, and we're going to be starting with right wingers. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking what we know from now and the past into HUT to predict these cards and what their overalls could be. I just thought I'd change it up, but also at the same time as showing you what the overalls are for franchise mode, online versus stuff like that. So let's get into it, guys. I hope you do enjoy it. If you do, hit the thumbs up. But what do we got? What you're going to see here, guys, on the left, we have right wingers from 2025, and on the right, we have right wingers from 2024. So this is the top 10. You can see the list is pretty much similar, but the little differences, the small differences we're seeing are Buchnevich, Pavelski, and Kane are out. Reinhart, Keller, and Raymond are in. Now, they all had great years, right? Raymond's an upcoming prospect. Keller's getting good. They're giving Utah some love, and Reinhart had an incredible year. So those are the top 10 from 25 and 24. And with that, these are the top 10 from 23 and 22. You're going to see there's not much movement. The tops are the top. There is a couple of players that fall out and come in, and yada, like, you know, William Nylander popped in the last 2 years, but we've got Pasternak always there. We got Kucherov always there. We got Ranon in there. Marner was there. Like, you got Sveshnikov was always there. Like, you got the commons that are always there. Now, how can we use this information to predict the HUT side of things? Well, we're going to do that by starting with Nikita Kucherov. And how we're going to start is, well, you've seen in 22, Kucherov was 86. In 23, Kucherov was 85. In 24, Kucherov was 85. But again, remember, in 24, they've been trying to slow the progression down on these cards, and you can see that by dropping their overalls down. So what do we think Kucherov is going to be in NHL 25? Off of the top 10 list and off of his past history in NHL HUT. Well, I think he's going to be an 84. And before you guys go crazy about that, why I think he's going to be an 84 is because I think they're going to tick down again. You're going to see another downslide where they're going to bulk up the 84s. Very few 85s, very few 86s, if anything, in 86. I think you're going to see them slide down again in the progression to try to slow that down again. So as they keep giving more and more cards, they have places to go instead of reaching 99 HUT so soon. It's not that I think Kucherov's going to be bad. It's that I think, for the most part, everybody's going to start off in a lower tier, or at least everybody that was higher up in the 85s, 86s, I think they're going to slide down a little bit. So Kucherov, in my opinion, might be an 84. Now, when it comes to Pasternak, we've seen Pasternak go from 86 to 84 to 85. Pasternak and Kucherov both had incredible years. They had incredible years. Pasternak's moved a lot. You know, they had him up in the 86, they brought him down to 84, they brought him back up to an 85. Pasternak moved up to an 85 even after they tried to slow down progression. So with that being said, I am going to leave Pasternak at an 85 because I feel like if they were going to bring him down, they would have brought him down when they brought everyone else down this year. So I'm gonna leave Pasternak at an 85. Not saying Pasternak is better than Kucherov or Kucherov is worse than Pasternak. I'm just saying that Kucherov, I think, has a downtick just so they have more spaces to take him, more places to go with him. And I think Pasternak staying at an 85 is, as they kept him at an 85 when everyone went down, I think they do the same thing here. Now, next up is going to be Ranon. Ranon, 85, 84, 84. And I mean, I think they're going to keep the trend going where they're going to try to keep progression down. But here is Ranon in his past years as 22, 23, and 24. I think he maintains with the Kucherov at 84 because they can't just drop everyone down to 83. There will be people that drop, there will be people that climb on this list. But I think Ranon 84 is a nice flat spot for him, and I think they leave him there. Now, this one to me is going to be tough. Sam Reinhart was a massive mover in the overall category of online versus and franchise mode and all that, jumping up to 91. Putting himself in incredibly high on the right winger list. Now, he's listed as a center in HUT, but maybe now you're going to see him being listed as a right winger in HUT. With him being listed as high as he is, I think you could see a mover out of Sam Reinhart, and HUT hasn't really jumped a lot in overall. When a player moves, they don't really move by a ton. So I say Sam Reinhart goes to an 83. They're not going to move him up to an 84. They're not going to move him up to an 85, even though he's ranked as one of the best right wingers in the game. I don't see them moving him up that high. HUT does not move cards like they do in franchise and online versus. So he stays at an 83, giving him spots to grow more cards, but giving him that 83 boost on his base that I think he deserves. And then we got Mitch Marner. All right, Mitch Marner is a player that has been looking like he's trending down a little bit in popularity. Not in his overall production. His overall production's there. Like, he didn't get into the 90s, I don't think, this year like he did last year. But his overall popularity with Leaf fans, although it's still there, it's trending into a negative direction on his playoff performance and everything. So maybe that hurts Marner a little bit in how they do their overalls. I'm not going to pretend like I know how they do their overalls, whether or not they put cards higher or lower based on just stats or just however they want to do it. But with Marner, you've seen in 22, he was 85. In 23, he was 85. And then he goes down to 84 in 24, which we already discussed. That's when they ticked everything down a little bit to try to slow progression down to get to 99 hut. But with that being said, I think Marner still slides down as that popularity has dropped off a little bit, if that's even a thing they consider. But he's trending down, and I think he continues to trend down because he didn't get into the 90 points. And for everything else I listed, I think Marner goes to an 83. Now, I don't hate Marner. He's a great player. He's really skilled. He's really gifted. But I think he trends down. Now, William Nylander and Mitch Marner are side by side on this list. William Nylander with, I mean, if you want to call that hair, I don't know what that was in 22. I mean, I don't know why it looks like it works. It's better than his 23 one in the middle. His 24 one wasn't bad. We'll have to wait and see what he looks like in 25. But William Nylander is one of my favorite players, and I think he has an incredible future ahead of him. He's been playing incredibly well. I know he's an incredible future. He's old, but he's old for hockey standards. Now, what is his hut overall? I don't think Nylander treads up to an 84. I think he stays flat with Marner. I think they've established that where they're both on this list at the same overall. I think they view them as the same player, bringing Marner down to an 83, leaving Nylander at an 83. But I think they've established that they think these two players should be in and around the same area. So I think Nylander will remain an 83. I hope he's higher, but hey, that's just because I'm a William Nylander fan. I think he stays at the 83. Clayton Keller got massive love on this list as he smashes his way into the top 10. Not just getting in there, he got way up there into 7th, I believe he was. So like it's not like he just scraped the bottom and just edged his way in. He got up there, jumping Mark Stone, who was a staple in the past years. So Clayton Keller goes from an 81 to an 82 to an 82. I think Clayton Keller stays at an 82. Even though he got love on the list, it usually takes a year for players to start jumping in hut. Sometimes not. There's some rare occasions where they don't, but I believe Keller might make his next jump in the following year to an 83. But I think this year he stays at an 82 because they can't have everybody at 83. People have to stay below, so you have flexibility and you have ways of making your team better and lower overalls to add to it. So unfortunately, Clayton Keller's good and he's got love on the list, but I don't think he moves up in hut. Now, when it comes to Mark Stone went from an 85 to an 83 to an 83. Now that comes with a lot of Mark Stone being injured, not really playing all too much. Like, he's still a good player, but a lot of his stats are coming down based on his age, like his speed, his shooting. Everything is coming down on Mark Stone, and I think that's going to be really reflected this year, and he will take a dip from 83. So Mark Stone's going to go from 85, 83, 83 to an 81, in my opinion, with a drastic drop, putting him below, I'd say, usable. But hey, if he comes back and he has a good year, we all know he's going to get injured. He's going to come back in the playoffs. But if he comes back and he has a good year, he could bring himself back up. But I think this is the slow trend of Mark Stone dropping down that we're going to be seeing. And then Lucas Raymond, I'm a fan of Lucas Raymond. He's a great player. He just signed an $8 million contract, so congratulations to him. Detroit has him for 8 years, just waiting for Sider now. You're going to see a primetime card, because in 22, Lucas Raymond did not have a base card. He got his first base card in NHL 23, where they started him out as an 80. And then he moved up to an 81 in NHL 24. As they try to find Lucas Raymond's overall that fits within the team, within the system, I think you're going to see them catch him up to an 82 this upcoming year. I think partnering him in the same category or the same overall group with like a Clayton Keller is perfect. And I think they move him up to an 82, which could make him usable right at the start of the year, depending on the individual stats. And then Svechnikov. Now, the one unique thing about Svechnikov is his speed is really good after winning the fastest skater, however you want to say it, based on like whether or not the right people were there to go against him, or that I think Cale Makar was the one that tripped, giving him the lead. Andrei Svechnikov was an 83, 83, 83. As you're going to see, his skating is 83 and 83 in the 2 past years, but his shot changes. They're trying to balance him out. and then they bring up his skating to an 84. I think Svechnikov stays at an 83 because they're not going to change that top end number. I think they're going to continue working and balancing between the shot and the skating to keep him as that fast skater because he won fastest skater and give him that shot that they got to try to balance out. So I think Svechnikov stays in 83, but hey, this is the top 10 right wingers, and this is where I think they're going to be in Hut this upcoming year. I do thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. Leave in the comment section down below if you agree with my overalls or if you don't agree with my overalls, and who do you think is going where? Are there bigger movers in your mind, up or down? Let me know. Thank you guys for watching. Until next time, ciao, ciao.